Europa Universalis 4 is a grand strategy game developed by Paradox Interactive which takes place in an alternate dystopian reality in which countries themselves are sentient beings manipulating their inhabitants in a never-ending cycle of pain and suffering. The countries are actually inhabited, not by humans, but by giants, who really like building miniature houses and bridges, which they seemingly have no real use for. The game lets you pick from over 100 countries, many of which are heavily inspired by real countries. I really like fantasy game settings, don't get me wrong, but some of their country choices are a little over the top. I mean, air, you know, the thing you've been breathing all your life? That's a country, apparently. And the knights? I thought knights were people in armor, on horses. But no, apparently, they're a country too. The gameplay of Europa Universalis 4 takes a very interesting direction, in the sense that the developers made it a priority to design the game not to be fun. You don't really have any actual control over anything, and you do a lot of waiting around. Occasionally, you get to move units into another country and siege it, but don't get your hopes up. The battle system I found to be severely lacking. At the bottom left, there seemed to be an indication as to what's going on, but I'm only at my first year of learning Egyptian hieroglyphic writing, so it was hard for me to really understand what was going on. The actual combat, however, just looks like big toy soldiers jokingly poking each other with spears. But apparently, that's how warfare looks like. Get your shit together, Paradox. In one of my games, I played Bavaria, since because of my German heritage, I felt obligated to restore my country to its proper glory again. Since the game is very long, I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward a little bit to show you some of the later parts of the game. Alright, so this is about a month later right now, and as you can see, I've conquered pretty much all of Europe, and generally, the game just feels too easy at this point. See, Hitler, conquering Europe isn't really so hard now, is it? And I did it 500 years before you were even born. You fucking scrub. Overall, the game does a really great job at simulating the inevitability of death and the senselessness of attempting to change anything about your fate. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10.